basically like a Swiss Army knife of sorts and could really frag out. And no matter what kind of role he was given, whether it was anchoring, whether it was having to lurk, whether it was in star positions, he was able to do it all. But now suddenly he's struggling to do any of these roles, and maybe this is that roster that he can potentially gain that confidence back, because if that's the case, then all of a sudden this core looks way more exciting, and I'm on board with this roster, John.
Yeah, and also, but just to talk a little bit more about the Chicken Coop guys, as we're going to jump into the action here, guys, getting ready for round number 1. They've got a pretty solid squad, too. Drop's been doing some great work, 1.23 rating. Wreckmeister's a name we've seen a lot before, and he's also been solid. Like, overall, they've got an Opper now in Crisp, which was kind of a lacking piece for a little while. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, this team also looks pretty solid, and I just wanted to highlight that. So we spent a lot of time talking about SBE, but let's jump into the action here now.
Straight up long crawl here for SBE, keeping it nice and simple. They've got a smoke flash here for the cross. Essentially 3 players here on this A site. Instant dink there on the drop. Chris tries to block up that smoke, but there's still plenty of space there. It's going to be Drop having to do all the work on his own, and it doesn't come to be. Jared, basically the only man to find much of anything, but the cross works beautifully. And SB seem to be off to the races unless MDS can cause a ruckus with these dual Berettas.
Yeah, MDS in a 1v3. I'm not necessarily seeing a clean path for him forward. Yeah, he already gets gushed. He's gone. Shane, we were highlighting him, or you were highlighting him earlier, saying he's an underappreciated player. I would agree with you. And we oftentimes, when he was playing with the Timberman core, and even with the... with Voka briefly, I think he was there for a few games.
I believe so.
Yeah, he was good. I always appreciated his play style. So, you know, he's already got these 3 kills over in the pistol round. And SBE off to that 1-0 lead.
Now look at the VRS forecast, and for SBE, you know, they haven't had many opportunities to really rack up those points, and this would be a valuable one to notch 7 spots additionally. We'll see if they're able to get that stability that they've been looking for quite some time. Of course, still stiff competition on the other side, and Crisp off to the races with his scout, putting in some damage onto motm.
It is the force buy for Chicken Coop. And Crisp, while he does get the connection, there's still no frag to speak of here for either side. Infinite looking in from these upper tunnels towards the B site. Crisp will be in his crosshair soon, and eventually, yeah, he ducks away. He's just jiggling around, getting information. Eventually, it costs him a little bit. In fact, not Crisp, that's Drop. Peeping, trying to go out off a flashbang. Don't see anything towards mid, though, and a smoke blooms on the left side of mid to try and, I guess, set up an approach towards either B or CT spawn. Usually you throw the crisscross smokes to create more disruption, but they're only going to throw that one.
Well, an extra rotation coming in from Wreckmeister. A bit of a gamble here. And a late long control piece that MDS has. If he wants to continue to flank, he absolutely can, and he will. Just catches the timing beautifully. He might still not be able to catch Shane on the edge, but he'll know that the hit's actually coming. And that, this time around, Shane does swing around. And yeah, that's the main thing. Time is of the essence. And Infinite finds the necessary entry, and that should be enough to get the job done. Wreckmeister finds 2 out of nowhere. And it's all up to Drop in the 1-on-3. Another very difficult situation for the guy in the clutch. Be able to slink on up and have a fair fight, but isn't able to connect to a head. Finally, an opportunity arises, and Shane will still live to tell the tale. So 2-0 start here, and you're starting to see that impact that you want out of Infinite when the time is getting low and you need that essential entry to crack open the bomb site. He's been there back-to-back rounds.
Absolutely. And I mean, Wreckmeister also bang play, like in every shape of the word I'm saying, like basically bang, or like 1-2 punch there coming through from him. Really impressive. And also huge thanks to Lorgar for providing the official tournament PCs here once we get to the main event of StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026. All right, let's jump back into the action. But yeah, no, Wreckmeister made a great play. 2 shots, 2 kills. And SB on the other side, I agree with you, Infinite, you know, showing that entry prowess that they kind of need to have. MOTM always be helpful under his multiple occasions, and he'll do so here up against Crisp. It is just the eco round. I'd say it's a deco for Chicken Coop. MOTM going to get another 2, and then Peeping finds 1 to help out. It is going to be SBE cruising to a 3-0 lead.
Exactly what you're looking for if you are SBE. Dream start. Keep so many players alive and retain plenty of money as well. But this is the opportunity for Chicken Coop to get involved in the action. I don't necessarily know if Crips... Okay, he does. He does have money for the AWP, and that impact needs to be felt off-rip, considering that sniper advantage. But SBE already looking towards an early B pop, B pressure perhaps, as they hole up in the upper tunnels, and so Wreckmeister and MDS have to basically stand and deliver almost instantaneously, and they shall. Quick 2 kills for them, and it completely stifles this initial B hit.
Yeah, the utility timing was a little bit off there for SB. Felt like they went ahead of the flashbangs, and that's why it was a pretty easy clean there. MOTM's going to get 1 here, but it's a 2v4, and Wreckmeister's got a beat on them. Anchoring down this B site. They're going to get pressure from the flank. MOTM's got an idea of this. I'm just reloading right now. Oh, and no, he doesn't have an idea. He's just heading back towards T-spawn. I thought he was going to be ready for that fight, but no. Consti was. He will get the headshot onto Jared, but now with 1 minute left, what do you do in this situation? Bomb on your back, but 3 players against you.
Bit of a bonus situation for SBE, so they can find any sort of economic damage, that would be great. But it seems as though Consti's also just considering the full save. As he pauses, however, Chicken Coop decide to leave the B bomb site, and Wreckmeister, the only one watching. Of course, Drop is still there to assist, but there is a potential path here for Consti. Walk out slowly but surely. Doesn't have a smoke to block off those double doors. Have to be a straight duel, and Wreckmeister will deliver. And it feels like you've got the players that you're looking for on the Chicken Coop side to be awake and to cause some more competition in this best of 3 as well.
Yeah, you kind of expect it. They're not going to go down without a fight. These guys are pretty solid, and you saw it there. Wreckmeister leading the charge with those 2 opening kills. But what I want to talk about as well is that it felt like the utility wasn't necessarily coordinated in the previous round that SB won, when they were trying to fake mid to B, but it would have been more effective because they threw a late smoke for the mid to B, but it would have been more effective to throw the crisscross, which they kind of divided it up. If you throw them both at the same time, then you might attract more attention. But Chicken Coop weren't really sold on it, and as a result, well, they were still at the A site, so SB had more work to do. Anyway, opening kill through the smoke. That goes to Shane. 5v4 for SBE. They're going to hang around long, at least a couple of players are, but MOTM with the bomb will double back towards T-spawn. Needs to be careful how far back he goes without the rest of his team, because if he loses that parcel of C4 in a duel, they may get control on the Chicken Coop side, and it'll make it difficult for SBE. But he might fall here, but the reinforcements are right around the corner, and there's the op that swings out, takes his position, and goes for a shot, but Consti cannot connect. At the very least, MOTM survives, but just barely.
I mean, how does MDS live there? That is unreal. And now, SB, luckily, that wasn't their only plan of attack. They always had Peeping sitting at the blue bin. There's Molly there from bottom, but that might actually come back to bite them, considering now cat aggression is available and they can clear out mid before coming back to this A site. But Crisp should have all the information. He has a little bit of a gap as well. So now it's time for these CTs to hustle, and Crisp will find his mark initially. They nade open that smoke. Another kill found by that sniper rifle. Jared with another one through the smoke. And the Chicken Coop side are slowly trying to rev to life here off the back of some heroics from their opper.
Consti waiting in pit. Could pop up and get one. Oh, gets a freebie. Oh my goodness, what? You can't miss that, Consti. He missed twice! What's happening? Oh, goodness me. Crisp not going to miss a single one. He just pops up and says, what are you doing? That was a little unusual from Consti. And MOTM, the one who takes the damage first and goes down to 1 HP, is the only survivor in that round. That was very disjointed on the SBE side. Especially after getting that opening pick. It just felt like they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, the opening pick is definitely nice. I think they kind of overcomplicated things by just saying, let's go all the way back to spawn and then re-clear upper tunnels. Like, I mean, I think that's fine, but maybe if you want to really clear that out, you should be having a lurk there to begin with to retain that map control. But either way, Chicken Coop make the best out of a bad situation, and they're rewarded with a light purchase on the other side. MOTM with that saved rifle is the only real thing to write home about. You do have a armorless peeping with that scout, but Crisp has been looking pretty good so far. Opening pick for him, and you'll find a secondary. Looking still to find even more on the other side of things, but now it's Jared to take some attention away off of the long corner. So far so good here, John. I mean, Jared and Chris both look very solid on the A defense, and the B side is holding strong with Wreckmeister and MDS as well.
Yeah, definitely. No, I do agree with you, and it's looking good for Chicken Coop after what was a slow start, but kind of expected. You lose the pistol, you lose the next two, but since that point, they've really collected themselves, and I have to say, you're seeing the holes in the side of SBE, right? Like, these guys aren't looking like a well-oiled machine, let's say, right now. As Consti is going to miss the shot, Crisp will not. Excuse me, Consti did hit the shot, but it's a leg shot, maybe through the door, and then it's clean on Crisp's end. So that makes it a 5v4 in favor of Chicken Coop. Just feels like all of SB aren't necessarily on the same page. And I know at one point they had the MOTM and Wolfie as part of the roster, but that experiment ended very, very quickly. Paladin, like it was only 11 games or something. They're like, nope, this isn't working, and we're moving on to another couple of players. It's part of that revolving door of players that we've seen on this SBE squad. And then Dare, I think, obviously left to play back with Voka again after his brief stint with the SBE squad. Anyway, drop is going to get infinite. MDS finds MOTM. This is domination from Chicken Coop. There were guns out for SBE and nothing is happening. Peeping trying to slip through the smoke. You might get one and he does. Actually, it's not a bad spot for him to be in, but the problem is he doesn't have the bomb. So, yeah, he's just going to die after looking the wrong way. Wreckmeister takes care of him, and it just feels like all of a sudden Chicken Coop have got all the answers.
Yeah, and I think this ties to how many times the Chicken Coop side is able to get into upper tunnels basically for free. You've seen MDS there, what, 3 or 4 rounds in a row at this point, and sure, he's not getting kills, but, I mean, he is getting kills there, but it's not anything like he's getting like a big multi or he's finding like 3 kills to win the round. It's just cutting the map in half, and it's allowing for the rest of this Chicken Coop side to essentially just have every sort of trade available. Another thing available is their ATK gear, but there's a giveaway of 8 mice being just given away if you click on the banner. So be sure to check that out in your free time, maybe during halftime here, as SBE get themselves a 5-on-4. I mean, the money is just all over the place here, John, but at least they found that opening pick here and a bomb plant.
Yeah, again, I think it harkens back to what I was saying before. It doesn't feel like they're all on the same page, and that shows in their economy as well. But they do have the bomb plant, like you mentioned. And maybe, throughout all this chaos, they'll be able to collect a round. Jared looking around, wants to find targets. They're waiting for the rest of the team to get in. Oh, look at this flank from Consti. They're not looking for it at all. He will get one, maybe the second, almost, but Chris will find him after getting MOTM towards CAD. 3v3 now. Drop, swinging around, finds one. Chris does as well with the AWP. A 3K for Chris, then a 2K for Drop. They get the full house, and it's going to be another Chicken Coop round victory. The kit comes through. Actually, wait, is there time? Defusal is in. Oh my goodness, that was a little too close. Laughs all around now, but if they hadn't gotten it, wouldn't have been as funny.
Yeah, I think that was just one had no kit, one had a kit, so they just had to make the switch over, and thankfully they did, because, I mean, if there was a stick from the non-kit, I think that's also a lost round.
That's
so
right.
It all worked out in the end, and Crisp is looking mighty fine so far, John. I mean, doing some great work, head on a swivel to find a 2-piece with that P250, and then also nailing these easier op shots and even some of the more difficult ones. 9-3 to start things off, and finally SBE have another purchase here, and they're desperately going to need to convert now that things are kind of ballooning out of control here for Chicken Coop.
I think this was, oh wow, Wreckmeister just gonna take down Peeping easily. I love the aggression there too, you know, sending both those players in towards the lower tunnels. Not really expected at all. Infinite's isolated towards upper now. And then SBE want to flash out to long. That's the plan. Will it work out? Another question. See, again, Shane's ahead of it. Why are you throwing utility and then not waiting for it? It's so weird. Like that's, it's just a lack of coordination right now on the SBE side, and it's a freebie for Consti to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, not really missing a beat. When there are mistakes made on the other side, he's absolutely capitalizing on them. Crisp has another opportunity to nade back in, and he'll nail another shot onto MOTM. Jared still another player waiting to strike, and now Wreckmeister in the mid-clear finds his man, and Chicken Coop, every crossfire is working, every mid-round aggression is working as well, and SBE just look dumbfounded.
Yep. It's not going to be an easy BO3 for them here. Paladin, my prediction that there might be something spicy that happens with the MOTM back in the roster, and maybe they'll get some extra energy. Unfortunately, it isn't there yet. It might still happen. But either way, Chicken Coop are in full control. There's no doubt in my mind. If there were like a momentum meter that we had, it would be 100% Chicken Coop right now. Like there's no doubt in my mind.
How do you battle back from this is the real question if you're SBE, because right now it just feels like you're in a deadlock of just trying to figure out how to really get close in these rounds. It doesn't even feel like they're inching to, you know, maybe they can, you know, win a 2vx or a post plant. These look like hopeless scenarios, so there's a lot of work to do here to start things off, and that definitely doesn't help. A tag from Crisp and a nade from Catwalk already stifles SBE heavily. There's 4 AKs on the other side of the equation, John.
That's wild. Alright, let's see what happens here. Infinite gonna get Crisp, so that's something. Spam through the smoke. They're going for him to be. It could end up pretty solid. Depends on what Wreckmeister can do. Wreckmeister gets one, a second. MDS supports for a third. And Drop will get the instant trade after Peeping is able to take down MDS. So Peeping at 39 HP, and Jared finishes it. That is actually not a bad round this time from SBE. XQ was good. They got towards mid to B. They got the opener. They move in. But Wreckmeister does some great work getting that 2K. Managed to survive long enough to get it in the first place. Then the trading, phenomenal from Chicken Coop. That is like textbook trading that comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. It just feels like there is that stability on this roster where they've discussed as to how they want to operate in mid-round situations, and the stake odds absolutely agree in that sense as well. And of course, if you want that weekly reload of $35, we have a banner to click on the bottom of the stream if you use code STAR35, so make sure to check out stake, of course. Halftime is just around the corner, so you don't want to miss that as well. 7-3, CT side, Chicken Coop storming ahead after a slower start in this best of 3 on their opponent's map. A beautiful nade, max nade onto Shane, and a little bit of auxiliary damage off the incendiary as well. Drop doing his job in spades right now here in the mid doors, and Chris will finish the job with another max damage nade as well.
Well, MOTM gets the trade onto Drop, takes a lot of damage for it, and Wreckmeister's likely going to get this trade. Look again, the spacing. No, MOTM slips back through the smoke, and Wreckmeister's not going to spam. Doesn't want to give up his angle, but there's Jared in on a flank. No one's watching long, and indeed, it is the bomb. I don't know if it's been realized yet. Yeah, it was. Jared knows what he has. And Wreckmeister gets the insta headshot on Peeping as he tries to go around the corner to clear double doors. This is a huge problem for SBE now.
I think the bomb actually dropped into the doors. It's not even on Xbox, so...
Oh, man.
That just makes things even worse. Consti can't even just run around and grab it from Cat and run back up, so... Just make things really difficult. Yeah, there it is. Molly is nice, but somehow Wreckmeister doesn't get tagged by it at all, and he fights through the flames and gets in a lower tunnels. Another round for Chicken Coop, and SBE are just being left in the dust right now.
Yeah, it's not close, unfortunately, for SBE. You know, they're getting some rounds where they look effective, but most of the times it's just not working for them. And you're seeing the bomb getting lost over on Cat. It drops down towards double doors. They're stuck in a tough spot. You have players on both sides of the map trying to do individual plays, but nothing really connected, let's say. Anyway, Chicken Coop, it's 8 in a row, by the way, folks. SB won the first 3 rounds and haven't seen much of anything since. Crisp, one of the reasons why. He's the best opera on the server right now. No questions asked. Shane will be peering around. A little bit of a quick play for SB at the very least. Sometimes when things are going wrong, you just have to simplify, and that's what they're trying to do. Peeping. Gets the opener onto Jared. Swings around. Finds a follow-up. Peeping. Looking for the 3K now. Can't get it as Chicken Coop will fade off, but this is actually not too bad for SBE as they're going to have a 5v3 post plant. 5v2 now.
Well, they'll certainly like a little bit of help at the tail end of this half, considering how dominant it's been from Chicken Coop. Wreckmeister will have to go through that smoke to his own death. MDS has already given up his position. And this is a lost round here for Chicken Coop, but they'll still be happy with how this half has turned out, all things being said. But for SBE, there's a lot of work to do in terms of the comeback after this break.
All right, we're back into it here, getting ready for the second half of play. That first half pretty much dominated by Chicken Coop. Aside from the 4 rounds you see for SB, 3 of those were a pistol round victory and conversions off pistol. So only 1 true victory for them. At the very least, Paladin, it comes for SBE at the end of the half. So maybe they can take that and build some momentum into this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll desperately need it, but Crisp is still having just a hell of a map here. Blinder onto the long corner player. Peeping hits the deck, who's definitely had a better map as in terms of impact so far here, but it isn't enough. There isn't enough support in that regard. And MDS and company want to continue to extend their advantage here on the long corner. They do have that smoke flash across, and it's just motm to potentially deal with the onslaught on his way.
I feel like this is just going to be a retake setup. I don't know if it's worth it for motm to fight by himself. He's going to try, but yeah, eventually falls back and says, okay, let's set up for the retake, or another option is just to save the armor for a force buy in the next, but that's not going to happen. motm wants to fight. The rest of the squad likely does too. Does he have any utility to set up here? Yeah, that's why he's taking a different position. He's going to toss it forward, try and flash out, so these guys can take some fights and potentially hit some shots. Here we go, SBE looking for something. MDS on the other side won't get anything. Wreckmeister, who's been strong throughout, will only get 1. The trades are solid for SBE, but Crisp, can he be the hero? He finds Shane, and OTM, the last one standing with only 4 points of health. He is a shot away from death. What a shot by him onto Crisp, but Jared, the instant trade, and Chicken Coop win the second pistol as well.
Well, that's going to create just more amounts of pain here for SBE. It feels like nothing is able to come together here for this side. And now they have to play from behind yet again. Another force buy here out on deck. A scout for Consti, who has been pretty quiet as far as this map is concerned. And they're desperately going to need that sniper to come online here in some way, shape, or form. Be that the scout here on this force buy, or the op in the one buy purchase that they would potentially have if this goes awry. And he'll try to take his duels as much as possible. He's not actually able to land those shots, but he makes his presence known, and SBE should have everything given over to Chicken Coop in terms of that there is a force buy on the other side. Consti will finally find some impact. There goes the scout and the pistol combo. He'll come back over to the long quarter, but there's still another long lurk. There's still more players here to crunch in on this A bomb site, but Consti's not missing a beat. Finally, he hits the deck, but Peeping isn't missing a beat either. It's all up to Jared in the 1-on-3, and rifles are now recovered. This is going to be a difficult clutch to piece together here for him. And he's double swung straight away. SBE bounced back with the force buy.
Wow, all right. SBE finally pulling something together. Some sort of energy that can be brought forward from that round. 5th found for them. And they get free upgrades galore. As Lorgar, as you can see on your screen, awesome PCs, guys. And of course, huge thanks to them for providing the official tournament PCs for StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026 once the main event is underway. All right, heading into round number 15. Chicken Coop going to force up. Force by wars are on. They're not going to shy away from them.
Not at all. Let's see what these Tech 9s can do. Seems to be just a pop flash straight through the mid doors. Mid to B smoke is instantly there, and everybody's trying to re-engage to help deal with this. A1S shots are fired off, but everybody's blind. Finally, vision regained, but players on this B bomb site are hitting the deck instantly. Wreckmeister gets one completely blind, thrust into the 1-on-2.
Wow.
And then goes charging straight at Wreckmeister. Just 4 bullets left in the chamber, though. He's got to get the reload off, and he does. Infinite trying to find a way back, and how he stays alive during that reload, I couldn't tell you, but Wreckmeister pulls off the 1-on-2, and we're back on for some more force buy wars.
Oh, no way, Wreckmeister. With a MAC-10 of all things in that position, stuck behind the boxes on B's site, and he still wins that duel. I'm surprised that so much time was left to him by SBE as well. It just felt like things took a standstill in that 1v1. They should have charged at him. He only had 4 rounds in the chamber, or 4 rounds on his magazine, right? Like you mentioned, if he's attacked in that moment, I think he goes down, but instead, there's too much space given, too much time for him to reload, etc. So yeah, just very well done by Wreckmeister. And well, you can see those stake odds on your screen. And if you want to get a little bit of a bonus, that weekly reload you see on your screen, you're going to want to use code STAR35 and enjoy a daily $5 top up for the next 7 days when you deposit $20 with stake. All right, round number 16. Chicken Coop cannot believe they won that round, but they did, and that puts them at a 10th on the board. Force by wars will continue, but the problem for SBE is they can't afford to lose them, because if they do, this map is probably over, Paladin.
Absolutely. Definitely doesn't help out the team that's in the hole this far. Drop starts off the proceedings very nicely. Big kill from Lower Tons. Brings us to a 5-on-4. And opens up a lot of space here for Chicken Coop. Cat now available. Mid space available as well. SBE have to look towards maybe a mid-round aggression set play to get back into this one. But they're stalwart. Still 3 players here on A. And basically just flying in the dark now are SBE.
Oh boy, yeah. No presence mid, which could be severely exposed if a smoke is thrown mid to B, and then you've got
This is done.
Shane who's isolated. I think so. Unless Shane gets a 2K. Unless Shane can pull it off with the MP9, no, he gets nothing. Not even one. MDS takes his head off, and you have to save. You barely have anything to work with as it is. There's a gun, potentially. 4v3. Utility with a flashbang. Retaking B-side Dust2. Guys, pull the plug. Go grab some guns if you can.
Yeah, that one MAC-10 found by Infinite will be scooped on up by Peeping, and SBE have to give away that 11th round. And I mean, it's not GG just yet, considering they should have at least something in the next round, but we're getting really close to that territory regardless. It is dire straits for SBE, who have really not had a foothold in this map of Counter-Strike since maybe the first 3 rounds of play.
Peeping will get dropped. Can't grab his gun, though. Too far away. So it doesn't mean much. At least $600 more in his bank account. But I'd be surprised. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they went all in here because they're down 11-5. But they are going to go for that half buy, or at least an eco. And also, guys, if you want to get something very nice, ATK Gear have a giveaway going on. You can click on that banner below. There's 8 awesome gaming mice available in that giveaway. You don't want to miss it. So again, scroll down, click on the banner, and enter the competition.
What can SBE do? We're in that final stretch here before Calamity strikes and SBE go down a map. And it's got to be all on MOTM really to do the heavy lifting. And he has been that shining light alongside Peeping here so far. You're going to need a little bit more out of him. And Infinite straight away hits the deck. There comes a little bit of re-aggression here from MOTM, but he gets a lineup as well. Huge double to be found, but the trades the other way are even better. Wreckmeister and MDS chime in. The smoke for the cross is also available. I say that. Okay, yeah, there it is. I was gonna say they didn't have one on the belts showing up on the graphic, but there it is. With that cross coming in, there is a gap. It gives an opportunity over to Consti, but he can't nail the shot. And Shane will eventually give away his position as well, so SBE really up against it now. Drops a flash over to his Opper, hoping to prime him back into this. He'll drop down into CT, try to charge up the ramp. But MDS has found his man, and it should be curtains now. Chicken Coop marching towards that map victory as quickly as possible.
Man, oh man. That is unfortunate for SBE. I thought MOTM had something brewing there. In fact, MOTM's been pretty solid throughout this. 15 frags. He's been the player I expect him to be. Just everyone else can't seem to get things going. And you're down to, you know, needing 7 rounds in a row just to push overtime. They will have a buy-up. It's going to be 3 on 4s, 2 FAMASas. On the other side, Chicken Coop have got a good amount of cash, even if they should lose this round, and AKs for everyone, along with plenty of utility, way more than SBE are bringing into this one. Drop will get connected on by the nade, though. Molotov gets tossed. Oh, Drop's fully blinded. MOTM gets the freebie, but MDS before that found Peeping towards Cat. So that's still an even trade, and a great Molotov thrown afterwards. Wreckmeister gets Consti. What looked promising for just maybe half a second, Paladin, quickly melts away as Chicken Coop assert their authority over SBE. Only Infinite left, and he will fall as well. Chicken Coop make it look easy in a 13-5 first map win.
Yeah, I never really felt like SBE were ever involved in this one, John. It just felt like there was so many opportunities when, you know, an individual had to step up to find a multi and they just never could. For me, who are still trying to find their footing as a 5-man unit, and of course there is that stability that we've talked about, but they're still trying to figure out everything. You know, nothing has been figured out completely. Like, how does this roster stack up against Marsborne, against Voka, against NRG now? So I think these are the issues that I think I want to see pop up for them later down the road. But of course, they've got to get there, and they've got to get through SBE first to stay within this upper bracket, and they begin on this offensive end here on Nuke. Map number 2 in our best of 3 series here.
All right, let's go. Let's get this started here. Chicken Coop will be starting on the T side, and SBE on CT side, given that this is Coop's map pick. Wreckmeister going to toss that nade, break open the door immediately. They're just going to go fast today. I don't know if this is going to work out. Ooh, Wreckmeister's already gone. Consti and Shane doing a lot of good work, but Drop does get the response here onto Shane, and now they're going to double back for a moment. That could be their undoing, and it is. Peeping and MOTM get a couple of quick ones, and it's only MDS left. SBE hoping to get the pistol round here. They did open up with that pistol round in the first half of map 1. And now they're trying to do the same thing here on map number 2. MDS, what do you got? Not much, unfortunately, for him. Peeping will get the last, and it'll be 1-0 SBE.
Yeah, well, they really needed to actually piece together a pistol round. I mean, it just felt like they've been playing on the back foot every half. And now they finally have what they're looking for. Now, what can they do with a lead like this? How do they build off of this? And how do they show that they've got a stable CT side? Because once MDS can really stretch his legs and get those guns out and start playing with that outer yard control, how are things going to change? And for right now, things aren't changing at all. Chicken Coop are forced in, and they've gone charging into this A bomb site. Maybe it's something that they read up on in the demos, but SBE have got themselves everything that they're looking for in terms of holding on to this site.
I think the question for me is, like, this looked the same on map number 1, right? Where they were getting the pistol round, they were solid in the follow-up, shut down Chicken Coop without much of a fuss. But once we get to the guns, once we get to round number 4, I think that's when we're going to see the true test for SBE and see if they just had a bad map, right? And just didn't play Dust2 the way they thought they could on their pick. But yeah, also guys, of course, a huge thank you to Lorgar for providing the official tournament PCs here for StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026. There's some awesome PCs, super thankful for them, as they will help make sure that the FPS is at top of the line in terms of the teams that'll be playing on them. All right, let's go, round number 3.
Big round for SBE to continue maintaining economic advantage. Fight up for peeping out in secret. I'd like to see him as dynamic as possible, and so does motm. This outer yard space, of course, is going to be difficult to hold on to. Oh, whoa. Hold on a second. Wreckmeister with a couple of nice deagle headshots, but yeah, as I was saying, SBE staying active in this outer yard control, regardless against pistols or not, is very important into the long-term stability of this CT side.
Yeah, absolutely. Need to keep the pressure up. Will SBE towards outside? Although in that case, I think they got a little over eager, and this is like the same concern I had on Dust2. A lot of them playing individually, not necessarily as a unit, and you see all 5 players peeking in that instance and giving Wreckmeister fights. It doesn't go wrong because it's a 1v5, but it could have, right? He got a couple of nice shots. Maybe under different circumstances, I guess is my point. Either way, this is what I was mentioning earlier. We're into round number 4. Let's see if SBE can get a shutdown round and really build up some kind of momentum for themselves, which is completely lacking on Dust2. Peeping. Waiting, pushed up into hut, in towards lobby. Trying to get that surprise element here. But Cooper being very careful about this approach.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to have a stable bit of defaulting here. Wreckmeister, you'd like to think eventually checks this. Peeping doesn't have any sort of support. They're not going to completely clear this. They're just going to completely bypass it instead. Walk over to ramp and maybe do this dry. Okay, once those flash do go off, this will bring Consti over and prime Peeping to push forward in the lobby. This is dangerous for Chicken Coop. They've got to find some entries, and they've got to find them fast, and they aren't at all here, John. Infinite and Consti lock things down, and MDS's late lurk up into Mini is basically moot.
Yeah, he might get caught before he makes it up here. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Okay. Might still have impact. Now it's moot. He could get a frag, but I feel like it's over. Yeah, there's the one. Needs the bomb and won't get it. There is the instant trade. Shane with the headshot, and there you have it. That is a 4th round that was absolutely required from SBE. They look a lot more coordinated, surprisingly, on Nuke compared to Dust2, which is, you know, the map that is a lot more, I would say, easy to play in terms of a technical perspective. Nuke is a lot more difficult, even on CT side, so good on them for shutting down that attempted push from Chicken Coop, and the rotations look good too. What else looks good is, of course, you know, the stake odds, at least for SBE. If you want to get in on that action, you can see that weekly reload on your screen. It's code STAR35 to gain access to it, and you can enjoy a daily $5 top-up for the next 7 days. You just have to deposit $20 to gain access to that. All right, let's go to round number 5.
$35 is not anything to scoff at, I will say that much. It's
not.
an A execution for Chicken Coop, and they just really want to hammer this home, and finally they found their man. Shane hits the deck, and it isn't without a couple of bodies hitting the floor here for Chicken Coop, and they're losing, frankly, everybody. It's just MDS left up in a 1-on-2. He's got the bomb on his back, and he's able to get down the stairs as well after all that chaos. Should be able to punch in those digits. Consti will be able to get here in time, so he should be able to hold this line, at least temporarily. Oh my goodness, it's just a matter of moments, and finally Consti will swing out. He'll find his man, and that single door was also very quick to swing open as well, so really no opportunity for Chicken Coop to get out of that one. But I'm not really sure, John. I just feel like this offense out the gates is very kind of anti-strat heavy, and with it not working out, you've got to find a way to turn that around, because you're running out of rounds to really create a T-side out of this.
No, I agree. And I mean, T-side can be challenging on Nuke, let's be clear, but usually you want to get some rounds, at least 1 or 2 on the board within the first 7, let's say, at a minimum. But right now it's looking a little bit bleak on the side of Chicken Coop. And I have to give credit, of course, to SBE. They look coordinated. The mid-rounding, which was a big concern of mine, given what happened on Dust2, that worked well. Like on the Dust2, you would see rounds like that go against SBE, and they would lose even with the man advantage. So Chicken Coop to be shut down there, it's actually quite meaningful. 5-0 now. Guns are out again, though. Chicken Coop continue to go for this lobby approach. They're not really working outside too frequently. Infinite will get shut down, though. He gets caught, pushed a little bit too far up, and finally Chicken Coop have some space and an entry to work with. Peeping can't do much of anything, and now this B execute is looking pretty nifty. MDS gets caught lurking around, so that'll be a nice shot by Consti. The other 4 are charging forward, and they should be able to get that trade. They absolutely do here, Paladin. Will they get more? Yes, another trade comes through, and it's a 3v2, and in fact, 3v2, excuse me.
Yeah, that's big work in terms of the trade potential out in the control room. It leaves Peeping and motm, which, frankly, I don't think this is a doable retake whatsoever. Bomb is halfway gone. You don't really have much space, but motm is still nailing shots and hold the phone. Peeping's found a little bit more as well. It leaves it all up to Crisp, who's had a little bit more of a quiet nuke here. They still haven't gotten out of the bomb just yet. Finally, the smoke goes up, but the spam is beautiful from Crisp. Gets off the bomb, and Crisp will find another one as well. I mean, very odd in terms of the defending of that defuse, but it works out for Crisp, who notches yet another impactful round in this series.
I mean, the smoke spam is wild. It's just right on the money. And I like the idea from what he was trying to do, right? Throw the flashbang off the door and then open it simultaneously. So try to flash people so it's behind him, but flashing whoever's looking in his direction. It's a great idea. It didn't really work out the way he expected, but he still manages to string things together and give Chicken Coop their first round. Not what SB was looking for, especially after being so strong on that retake and making it a 2v1. You kind of want to close those ones to really show that you're here to make an impact on you. Now they lost the first body. We'll see. Peeping gets the response. And a second one, too. Even though they know his position, motm pushing up. Nade lands at his feet, takes him down to 12, I believe it was, or 18. And drop will finish the job. 3v2, this time for Chicken Coop.
What are Shane and Infinite going to do? Split across the map at this point. Trying to at least take some one-on-ones here and there, but if I'm drop, I got to get out of there immediately. You've got the bomb, you don't want to strand it, but Shane getting these free 1v1s really worrying in the grand scheme of things, and Chicken Coop have got another opportunity to squander. Luckily, Jared is there and thrusts Infinite into this one-on-2.
Infinite sporting the new AUG from the Arabesque collection. Matches the gloves nicely, so I understand the choice. Sorry, I'll get off this discussion. Infinite's gonna get the headshot on Jared. Drop. Now in a 1v1. SBE looking for their 6th round. Let's see if Infinite can deliver. talked about it. Sometimes he lacks that punch that you expect out of a star rifler. But if he wins here, he'll prove the naysayers wrong, at least for a round. Drop. Hiding in the shadows. Readjusting. Going towards Squeaky. I feel like Infinite's looking for this, or at least he was. Now he's got the util out, and it's the wrong time! Drop strikes, and Chicken Coop will get the second.
Big play there. Again, Chicken Coop coming out on top in terms of the clutch situations. And, you know, they're not piecing together the most beautiful T-side, John, but they're getting it done by hook or by crook. A second one notched on the board now. And slowly but surely they are getting themselves back into this map of Nuke. And, you know, for them, I think they'd be happy to get 3 or 4 rounds. And you know, from there on out, they should be in the clear. But, of course, want to win some ATK gear. We do have a giveaway running for 8 different mice that you can win. So check out the banner below and get involved as soon as possible. Thank you for those mice ATK gear, and we'll get back into the action. Round number 8, pistols for SBE, and a bit of a layup here for Chicken Coop.
Perhaps so. Although those pistols and some of the angles, especially from top of mini, or top of HUD I should say, can be quite lethal. So you need to be careful about your approach. 105 remains. Chicken Coop continue to bide their time. Pretty aggressive posturing in general for SB in both ramp and A site. See how this pans out. The swing around and a kill for Peeping. Trade from Crispin. Drop takes care of 2. That ramp aggression gets punished immediately, and while Peeping will collect another scalp, I'm not sure how much that's going to mean in the grand scheme of things. It's a 3v2. He's down to 26 HP, and the guns are currently out of reach. Maybe if he gets drop, then we'll have a discussion about the possibility here for SB to take the round. But as it stands right now, it feels like Coop has the edge.
Certainly do. Oh my
Whoa.
goodness, last bullet there for Peeping. But still, motm has got to come up with the goods with just a USP. He's got to get one for free here with a back turn perhaps. But not yet. MDS very aware. Turns around almost instantaneously, and it's over.
All right. Well, this is what we were saying, right? You need to get those T rounds. Even if you're not winning the majority of the rounds on your T side, you got to get something to work with as you switch over, and 3 is pretty good. Bit of a freebie round there. Now the guns will be back out for SBE, and they need that second gear palette, and I think that's what was missing on Dust2. And again here, you've got a 5-0 lead. You had some impressive gun rounds, but you can't just wilt as soon as the pressure's being applied.
This is a real issue. Absolutely an issue. Dinks up for Infinite and Consi though, and oh my goodness, they just want to extend that. I think they heard the dink noise and wanted to extend in. Consi will be there to at least pull one back, but ramp control has been lost. And Chicken Coop have a valuable bit of space here on the map, but unfortunately, they don't have much else to work with at this point.
Yeah. And it costs them a decent chunk of utility to gain that space. Although I have to say, if you're comparing utility from both squads, Chicken Coop have looked far better in terms of their execution on it. motm's going to get the nade out. Still manages to pull the gun and get a frag against MDS, but Wreckmeister trades him out immediately, and that'll make it a 3v3. No one else on B. SBE positioning-wise, this is not good for a retake.
Not at all. Sure, it's an even man advantage or man situation, but you're hopelessly out of position. You've got no kits. Putting a lot of onus here on Shane and Consi to make that opening incision. You've lost the other prong. Keeping's hit the deck. Sure, a nade is open, but look at how much damage has been done to both Shane and Consi. Yeah, they're not even going to bother at this point. And Chicken Coop notch another one on the board. They make this a game between 1. And SB are losing every little bit of foothold that they fought so desperately to get towards here, John.
Yeah, no, it's a real shame, honestly. And again, there, it felt like it was a little disjointed, peeping activating a little sooner than his teammates were in position for. Because if like he gets that kill and then there's the immediate response, like, it's only half a second or a second of difference we're talking about, but it makes a difference, right? And then the other guys can activate, maybe get a little more activity going, a faster trade, who knows? But in that case, no trade came through. They just lost peeping, couldn't do much else, and then fall back to save the op and the M4. I wonder if they were between two minds about saving versus going for it. Yeah, in the end, they choose to save. Fourth round in a row for Chicken Coop. Shane charging up, loses his life immediately. MDS takes care of that. MOTM trying to retake the space quickly and go for that trade, and he gets it. Good job by MOTM taking the initiative here. And now he'll find his 10th against Jared, but finally, Wreckmeister will put him down, and Drop gets an important one, Infinite, but Consti trades it back. Fiery action here in round number 10. Consti and Peeping still have full health, but the bomb will be planted at A.
Good play. Again, scrappy affair. And Chicken Coop have another opportunity to cut the distance even more. Peeping, who's had a hell of a map, has got to do just a little bit more to keep this lead in play for the CT side. But whoa, what a shot from Wreckmeister, and the spray's even better. He just looked so sharp when called upon in some of these late round situations, and Chicken Coop pull it even keel here, 5 apiece.
Wow. That is a ridiculous play from Wreckmeister. In a tough spot, too. His back is literally in a corner there behind second vent, and he still managed to get a clean spray down against two players with that AK. And you see those stake odds evening out for both squads, as does the scoreline. And of course, if you want that weekly reload of $35 on stake, you're going to want to use code STAR35, and then you'll enjoy a daily $5 top-up for the next 7 days when you deposit, $20 on stake. All right, let's get back into the action here. Round number 11. MDS. Already countering secret. This is a quick approach. Ooh, slow on the trigger, but he doesn't get punished for it. Throws the Molotov in the other direction. He's going to get a nade out as well. That nade will go right into the void. He's got support now. 3 players down Secret Paladin.
Wow, crazy fight here from SBE. And Chicken Coop, I think they've just heard all of this. They've seen the utility tossed in, and they tried to go back up the stairs, but MOTM quickly saying that, hey, there's still things going on in this upper site that you don't want to be a part of. And he'll actually push the issue even further, moves into the hut. This repositioning could be everything for MOTM, as Chicken Coop look to potentially split into this A bomb site. Player coming up into heaven as well, so this is probably the best position that motm can be in if SB want to hold on to this A site.
MDS could get a win here, and he does. And Crisp and Wreckmeister find a couple as well. All across the board are Chicken Coop activating here against SBE. No kit for Consti, who's only got that 5-7. And, well, the round is over just like that. It wasn't a big investment for SBE, but getting that opener left some promise on the table, and, well, they leave everything else on the table as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do think that if Chicken Coop aren't as aware as they were about that A main, or not A main, excuse me, the squeak door presence that MOTM had, that's a night and day different round. But you can tell that, again, even though Chicken Coop had this slow start, they adapted, they found ways to get rounds on the board, and then the well-oiled machine that is their late rounds have been saving them round in and round out, and that's where I feel like SBE's chemistry just hasn't been built up yet.
You're not wrong. I mean, Peeping's been doing some great work though so far, up to 14 frags, leads the way in terms of ADR and kills across the server. But it hasn't built up a lead for them. In fact, the best they can hope for here is a tied scoreline going to that second half. Good start, though, in terms of damage. Jared's behind the smoke. He spots MOTM, and he will get that first frag despite the early damage his team has taken. He's traded out, though. Peeping doing some good work, as he has been this half, down to a 4v4.
Well, it's a complete standstill at this point. No need to necessarily push the issue. Space being taken to this outer yard. Smoke up in a mini, Molly up in a credit card. And Crisp just looking for punishing any extra aggression on the other end. 50 seconds left on the clock, so plenty of time for Chicken Coop to go downstairs as Crisp will sell a little bit of something upstairs. Still 3 players in this area. It is just Infinite down here to defend against essentially 3 players, soon to be 4. And he has absolutely no support, John.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough moment for him, you'd imagine. Unless he gets 2 immediately. MDS and Wreckmeister line up for him. He's got the lineup for the next one, but can't find it. Drop finds the shot, but now he's the last one. 15 seconds left. Does he have the bomb? Yes, he does, but he only got 6 HP, and he's got 3 SBE members to worry about. Bomb planted, swings around, can't do it. Shane gets the last. What a great anchor by Infinite to ensure that this ends as a 6-6 tie heading into the second half. All right, we're back into it here, getting ready for the second half of play. A tied scoreline, a lot more promising for SBE heading into the second half than it was on Dust2, and they're looking better as well.
Say that again. 6 T-sided rounds after things looked pretty dire there for Chicken Coop to start. But SBE look to try and bounce back. They're going to have to do a lot of work in terms of this one here. And they're going to have to do it with this T-sided start. They're going to rush into this A bomb site. Wreckmeister gets one completely blind and looks to try to find a little bit more, but can't. None of these players on this A bomb site really able to chain anything together. So with that, it's a 2-on-4 for Chicken Coop to try and recuperate. And Shane will try to look for that final blow, but it's MDS to find another. It's just Jared, position known, no kit. And he's definitely running out of time as well. Finally, he'll go down, and it's Shane with the quad kill to give SB their second pistol of Nuke.
Yeah, and 3 of the 4 pistols in the series have gone their way, which is always a nice stat to have. 7-6, they take the lead, which they had, of course, for quite some time in the first half until Chicken Coop made that recovery. But that's just a clean pistol and a great response after losing the first body. Peeping continues to be solid. Shane is starting to activate a little bit more. We talked about him in the pregame, how he can really be a strong contributor for any roster. We're starting to see that now. Force buy out for Chicken Coop, though. A couple of 5.7s, MP9, a Deagle, and a Scout for Crisp. Crisp likely going to be able to activate a little bit better on this CT side, bring the op out. Eventually. Right now, trying it with the...
Meister looking to find a head or two. Hasn't done so yet. It's Crisp with a blinding Scout headshot. Great to start the proceedings, but there is a trade imminent as well. This SBE roster swarming outside and encroaching upon these 8 choke points as well. Another player's been spotted here by Shane in the meantime. Crisp not willing to let go of this CT spot. Another tag found, and Peeping has to bound away. So this CT side still very dangerous when you factor in these tags coming in from your opper.
"31 seconds left. SBE gonna have to get a move on towards this B site. He's being anchored down by MDS. And I believe Jared as well. Or is it just Jared? Just Jared, excuse me. Jared. They overlook this position, they don't. Peeping hard clears it, but he still gets the kill. Peeping gone, and a second one as well for Jared. What's happening here? SBE can't hang on at all. The force buy is brilliant for Chicken Coop as Drop gets the last two.
What an odd situation there. Time was a real issue, and nobody was planting. Nobody was really trying to get rid of that player in Dark, or in Cubby rather, and I don't know, there's just so many issues that went on there that it didn't feel like they had really figured it out there, John. I mean, I'm shocked that it falls apart in that way. But, of course, we also have to give a thank you to Lorgar for the official tournament PCs that we have. So, you will see those in the main event. Not yet, but, of course, these teams fighting to use those lovely, lovely PCs. So, big shout out to Lorgar there as we get into round number 15.
Tied up at 7, trade back and forth here. Peeping gets tagged, but he manages to get another one onto Wreckmeister, and back and forth we go more forth to SBE, and yeah, they've got a 2v1 edge here. Oh, the force by wars on you can often deliver some fireworks, and we're getting that right now. MDS, last one available, almost finishes off Peeping. 10 HP left, 1 bullet, and Peeping's gone, and he is gone now. MDS makes it a 1v1, but Consti has made his way to the B side. He punches in the digits, and the bomb is now planted. Pressure's on for MDS. Good news for him, he's got the kit.
MDS now, I mean, it's impossible for you to really suss out where Conti has gone off to. So many places where he could have gone. The smoke is up, and it is onto the bomb. The stick is easily doable at this point, but Conti shows his face before MDS can get in, and he was actually given so much time to get rid of him, but Conti comes out on top, and SB will hold on to this lead just a little bit longer.
Oof. Wow, this is really back and forth here. So the force by wars will likely continue. Nice work from Consti. But yeah, Chicken Coop are the ones getting whatever they can. It's going to be a couple of M4s this time, actually. An MP9, a 5.7, and Crisp still on the scout. He would love to have an op, and that's the big disadvantage here on the CT side when you go into this type of investment back and forth, is that you can't get that op activated soon enough. However, if you're winning rounds, doesn't matter. Wreckmeister will get them off on the right foot here with the headshot on towards Peeping. Shane looking up, top of hut, hoping to find a target. He just might, and Drop stays alive, even though he gets tagged down to 27 HP, and the nade clips him to 20. MDS still fighting forward, managed to take out Shane. Back and forth we go. It's absolute pandemonium, folks, but it ends up somehow being a 3v1 in favor of Chicken Coop. SBE looking to fight forward. Consti was the hero before, makes it a 1v2 and can't get the other one. Heads up play from Jared, and it will be, again, a tied scoreline.
I can't believe that MDS lives as long as he does. Oh my god. Not traded at all, and just found so much room to do whatever he pleases. And at this point, it does feel like this force by war leans pretty heavily into the CT's favor.
We'll see. Timeout called by Chicken Coop to talk things over. They would really love to string two together here and put the pressure on. See those stake odds leaning Chicken Coop's way. And if you want access to that weekly reload of $35, well, here are the steps. 1, deposit $20. 2, Enter code STAR35 and 3. Just enjoy a daily $5 top-up for the next 7 days. There's no grinding, no gimmicks. It's just a steady reload all week long at stake.
One more rifle here for Peeping, who has had a heroic map to say the least. Not enough to get it done. Maybe that kill right there could inch them closer. Back to ramp though. Back into Jared, who's had definitely a little bit of a resurgence. And that nade is nice. It's very defensive. It gives a lot of space over to this T side. But that does mean that this bottom site has nobody to really defend it. And Chicken Coop have essentially got to scamper to fill that void as soon as possible before things get real sour here.
Bomb has been planted.
SBE battening down the hatches here on the defense on the post plant. MDS can't hit the shots. Hoping to get something. I mean, 4 players still alive, charging forth a couple of kits. You can't give this one up given the position that you have, but eventually, if you lose the bodies, you'll have to. Peeping and Infinite get 3 combined, and MOTM shuts MDS down. A very clean round victory on the side of SBE. And well, I mean, they had a pretty strong buy up there on what was effectively a force, and now Chicken Coop having lost that one as well, their money's going to be in a tough spot, and they have to make a decision. Do we keep this going? Do we keep forcing up and go this back and forth? Do we concede to make sure we can at least get maybe an op up in the next round? I just feel like they're not going to. Yeah, they're going to charge in head first, shove all the chips in the middle, and this time this force buy does not look pretty at all. It's only pistols available. Could be the turning point.
Eagles don't necessarily fancy their chances per se. You've still got a player close on Glaive. Still not checked just yet, and Wreckmeister does still find one. Straight through the smoke. He's got a chance at another one, and he takes down Peeping in a flurry of deagle shots. Infinite also takes some significant damage. It forces Crypt to maybe take a look in as well, but after taking damage himself, he'll fall all the way back. Another player spotted in the form of Infinite, but he still stays strong. 2 kills in the round. Minute left on the clock now, and Chicken Coop floundering a little bit after retaining that man advantage for just a little bit.
Yeah, I thought they could get something more. Like, you feel in a 5v3 and you have the pistols, you really need to continue piling on the damage, and that doesn't really work. MDS holding a good angle, but he can't hit the shot! He had the chance, but he flounders it, and Shane managed to flick to the head instantaneously as soon as that shot goes wide. Crisp and drop, last 2 standing.
Bomb has been planted.
They got the armor, the pistols. It's something. Not really that much. I think there's some guns outside that are worth saving, and that is probably the best call to make. Just grab those guns off the ground if they're still there. I'd assume they would be, as there wasn't much time to ferry them elsewhere. There's one picked up. And oh, they actually did throw it on top of the roof. There we go. Just gotta jump up, press E, and you got it. And that's exactly what dropped Dez. And a couple of AKs out of this round's okay. However, SBE have ended the Force by Wars, you would think, with that 10th round victory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terrorists win.
At this point, there's gonna have to be a little bit of a slowdown from Chicken Coop, but they're running out of time now. This is near double digits or double digits for Chicken Coop or for SBE rather, and they're getting control of the money situation. They're feeling a lot more comfortable in terms of their identity. You can start to see how they're piecing things together here. A timeout taken from SBE, mind you. Very interesting that they wanted to pull the trigger on that now. But I suppose they understand that this is how they get back into this game. They confirm this round and really put the pressure on this defense in the tail end.
Yeah, and I think we have we can start talking about our third map of Inferno since we got this type of scoreline. Once we get to Inferno, it's, you know, a 5-3 record for SBE. They've won 3 of their last 5. Sure, you lost NRG 2-13 at Frag St. Clair, but at the same time, it's NRG. They're outplaying a lot of teams right now. And then you look on the other side, for Chicken Coop, Inferno's also strong for them. They won 3 in a row, twice against Club 333. So it's going to be a spicy one should we get there. Chicken Coop looking to respond. It doesn't look like it's going to happen here. They already lost one of the AKs. It is an eco round around the AK, so they don't force up. And Infinite's got a great spot. He's going to get 1 against MDS. With a 5v3 in play, I feel like Crisp just needs to save the AK and everyone else can try to get upgrades, but this round is effectively over. It will be an 11th for SBE.
I'll try to hold on to this gun at the very least. Reckmeister still nailing some Deagle headshots, man. Looking really clean with this gun. Does a little bit more damage, and of course, yeah, we do have more games going on. South America is in full swing of things. MIBR in overtime right now on the main channel. Yeah, so exciting times over there on the other StarLadder channel, so you don't want to miss that action as well. Ted and X-Warrior on that action. But, of course, we've got to decide things here in NA because it's getting really, really messy at this point if we go to a map 3.
It's hard to pick a winner completely. Like, I wouldn't... It's down the middle for me. Because SBE, at least on Nuke, look far better than it did on Dust2. And if that continues on to Inferno, then well, we could get really any result. Because Chicken Coop are absolutely up to the challenge. And they've been going toe-to-toe with SBE this entire map. But things may slip away here. They will have 4 rifles and an MP9 available. That AK was successfully saved over by Crisp. But on the other side, SBE's got a full belt of utility and AKs for everyone. They've already used a lot of it, and Shane gets an opener, takes the head clean off of drop. 5v4, will they charge into A? They do, and Infinite finds MDS. Reckmeister can only get 1. It's another SBE round, at least it's looking like it, with Crisp and Jared out of position and a bomb plant coming through on A.
Bomb has been planted.
Here comes that plant, and all the pressure on Chicken Coop, and not enough positioning. They have completely botched this. It feels like it just no real A defense to speak of. Back-to-back upper hits almost off spawn, and there really hasn't been any sort of issues for them in cutting through that defense. There's got to be an adaptation at some point, otherwise we're heading to Inferno, and it definitely feels that way as of right now.
Terrorists win.
Big toss there for Crisp. Lots of damage. That's a
I
ton
like the
of
idea.
At least it gets Dar. I mean, it's a good idea. Maybe you can catch a kill, but they were all too healthy and didn't go down. Could have done a little bit of damage. You never know how that can come back to help you in a latter part of the map, even if you're going to go down by a score of 12-8. But yeah, now they have to win 4 in a row if they want to push overtime. Otherwise, we are indeed heading for Inferno.
This time I've got people out of their seats. This is awesome.
Got to stretch.
Now, I mean, there has to be some sort of change here from Chicken Coop to recuperate feeling comfortable here on this upper site, but what is that change is the real question, because tossing in quite a bit of utility and trying to get extra bodies, but nothing's really changing. But of course, you are still sponsored by Steak. If you have an opportunity to back Chicken Coop in this situation, you also have the possibility of a weekly reload of up to $35. So use code STAR35 if you want to get involved. You still have one more map of play, and of course, a boatload more Counter-Strike this week as well. Round 21 has a 5-on-5 ramp control established here for SBE, but here's the little bit of a difference making from Chicken Coop. Aggression into lobby, and MDS starts off the proceedings.
That being said, the hit's going to go towards B, and 4 players move up. Jared could do a lot of damage here, but he only gets 1. 4v3 advantage for Chicken Coop. They're trying to rotate quick to the B site. They are on the scene. The spam is good, and there's the shot onto motm as well. Drop having an insane amount of impact in this round. It's only Shane left. He's going to have to do all the work. There's 1, but only 1. Chicken Coop will stay alive here with a 9th round.
Very important round, and it comes all off the back of that one bit of aggression. They spot out the lack of players in that upper lobby and send multiple players downstairs, and after that, everything feels very obvious to Chicken Coop to piecing it together. But there's still a lot of work to do. I think eventually are going to have to repel this upper aggression, because it's only a matter of time before SB rips another execution right out of spawn. Comes.
Yeah, they're just going to charge in towards this A site. MDS gets the first. Nice trade from motm. Can he get the follow-up? Yes, he can! 2K for motm. Blows open the A bomb site, and now they got the flank from peeping into Mini. It's all SBE in this round. Jared needs to pop off, and he won't be able to. SBE have pushed us to our first map 3 here in this NA Closed Qualifier at the StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026.
And it finally feels like SBE have something to hang their hat on in terms of strategy and being able to replicate, because he was avoided a lot, but now he has an opportunity to really assert himself. So all that being said, it still feels very 50-50 to me here.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm with you pretty much across the board with what you just said. And I can't necessarily pick a winner right now, because if SB can pull themselves together the way they did on Nuke, then Chicken Coop are going to have their hands full again. But here we go. We're going to decide a winner right now and find out who will take the win in the series and stay in the upper bracket.
Two-sided start here for SBE. A boatload of utility across the board here for 4 of the 5 members. And it seems to be B site being the name of the game, with so many dual bretters on this side of the map. Wreckmeister not fully cleared though, and Drop has an opportunity to fire off those dual bretters, but they were still not aware of this sandbag's position. Regardless, the trades look fantastic, and Chicken Coop cannot repel the invaders. Bomb goes down, and a man disadvantage situation here for the Chicken Coop.
SBE storming into that B site with authority and managing to put themselves in a very favorable position. A decoy for Chris. I'm not sure that's going to even come into play here. Maybe he can fake a flash. I don't know. Doesn't seem like he's interested in doing that at all. Just wants to take some duels, but time is ticking away, and there are no kits available here for Chicken Coop. Consti blindsides Jared, and then Shane will trade Crisp out to give SBE the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. It just feels like SB are kind of turning in a corner now, starting to feel a bit more confident in terms of aggression, in terms of ferocity, and you're starting to see just a bit more chemistry between these players. The trading seems a little bit more efficient, and Chicken Coop feels a little bit more dead in the water, having to dig themselves back out. And they've got to do it fast here, John, because, I mean, SB can essentially set the tempo for this map for as long as they want. Really twist the knife into Chicken Coop feeling uncomfortable. MDS is going to have to take first contact here. Gives away his information, ticking on that incendiary, but still manages to get one before he goes down.
4v4, we saw a lot of rounds going back and forth on Nuke in terms of force buys in that second half. Maybe we'll get more of the same here on Inferno. But SBE still have a lot of control here of Banana. Drop's going to toss a smoke down. Firepower advantage absolutely in SportsBetExpert's favor. Here comes that utility. 1 for Coffins, 1 for Cross. They don't have to execute on this, but you feel feel like they should, given the utility that's left. And there you go. Break open the smoke, get a frag, and then walk through, trying to deal with the rest of the presence. And they will do that against Wreckmeister. And then they get Crisp after Crisp does find Infinite. So it will be a 3v1 in favor of SBE. Jared, I don't think he's got much of anything in terms of a chance to get back into this round.
A save wouldn't be half bad. And he'll back away to T-spawn. SBE again walking into a 3-player stack on that B bomb site and not having any issues to slice through that defense. John, what are these gloves? I haven't seen these gloves before.
These are gloves from the Dead Hand collection.
Have you seen these?
From the terminal. Yeah, these gloves are from the Dead Hand collection. Sorry, I don't know if you heard me, but yeah,
Okay.
they are from the terminal. And I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. But they're one of the newest ones. So yeah, they're nice.
There used to be a time where we were able to name every skin, and I just don't think that's feasible anymore. It's
There's been so many that have been
God.
added. Like, so it's
Yeah.
hard to like keep track of them all. But yeah, there were a lot of new gloves added in the Dead Hand terminal. I'm gonna find the name because I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, but yeah, we'll see.
We want to give a shout out to Lorgar for the official tournament PCs that will be seen at our main event for StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026, but we'll have to get there. Still have to decide who that team from North America will be. It's a complete save or very small save here for Chicken Coop. MP9 and armor that was saved over from Jared, a 5-7 and a deagle on both Crisp and MDS respectively. And a stack on this B bomb site. This time 4 players instead of 3. It hasn't necessarily worked to repel SBE, but I'm going to try their damnedest to hold on this time around. And oh my goodness, Infinite spotted 4 of these players. They'll try to re-aggress into him, and sure, they find him eventually, but Consti is there to pick up the pieces, and it's just Crisp left over with his lowly 5-7 and just 59 HP. SBE looks a lot more comfortable now, John.
Yeah, they do. And let's not forget, I mentioned this before, this is what, their 4th pistol round victory? Yeah, 4 out of 5 pistols going their way, and eventually, you know, getting off to those good starts repeatedly, you get into a zone where you can find a way to continually find that success, and it's a nice comfort zone to be in. As Crisp will be just saving the 5-7. He's got nothing left to offer into this round. SBE ensure that no force buy shenanigans will happen here on Inferno, at least not in the first half. And by the way, I did find the name of those gloves. They're the Driver Gloves Garden. Pretty simple. Gardening gloves.
Interesting. Very unique.
Yeah, one of the more unique ones. I think they're pretty popular.
Well,
Yeah, how many? They added like 20 glove skins or something. It's a lot.
wow.
Yeah,
I actually didn't even know that was a thing, so that
Yep.
opens my eyes.
Yep.
It's a whole nother world out there.
It is.
Well, first buy round on your screens now. Chicken Coop don't have the op on Crisp, where you'd like to see him wield that as quickly as possible, but it's, again, fierce banana control being the name of the game here for SB. They were already at car at a minute 35, and Infinite cannot find the kill that he was looking for. Baited in to duel, but here comes the next volley of utility. MDS taking significant amounts of damage and still lives to tell the tale. Somehow finds one, but finally he gets traded out, and this B defense has fallen yet again. SBE just bullying the second letter of the alphabet, and they should be able to get themselves another plant, regardless of that dink found by Wreckmeister.
Yeah, that's honestly a really good recovery from SB because you lose the first body and then you just keep, you know, your foot on the gas. You push up, get 2 more for only 1 death, and get this bomb planted as well. Not too shabby at all. Let's see where this nade goes. Chris doesn't want to throw yet. Throws it close. Consti's dead. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. And he does, but oh, misses the mark. Consti survives with 1 HP, but Crisp will still get MOTM. Then Wreckmeister finds Consti, and Crisp gets the last as well, so the miss nade doesn't matter. They barely survive, do both Crisp and Wreckmeister, but that is finally a first round on the board for Chicken Coop.
And desperately needed that to kickstart them back in. It feels like they were really floundering mentally after so many dropped rounds on that CT side. And now they're clawing back into a position where they can get back to staying in this upper bracket, having that dance with Voka on this side of the bracket. But still, stake odds have not swung in. And if you back them, you have that opportunity with a weekly reload of $35 on top if you use star 35 as your code. Aggression into the apartments now, and Wreckmeister completely blind finds what he's looking for, but look at Shane go.
Whoa.
Nice little spray transfer to find a double. And Wreckmeister will try to battle his way out, but he can't do so. And that means this A bomb site is ready for business. SBE go back to winning ways, this time on A.
Yeah, Wreckmeister dipped his toes into a Molotov for like 40 or 50 damage. I don't think he realized what was going on there, and then afterwards it was an easy clean on that last shot fired by Infinite. So, SBE will take that 3-round lead. Drop an MDS will save what they've got. Not the way Chicken Coop wanted this round to go down, but you see the X's on the radar all happening in the apartments, bunched together. That's where this round was decided.
I mean, these rounds aren't necessarily the most complicated in terms of
No, yeah.
how SB want to go about things. They're just winning these brawls outright, and they're committing to this site as soon as they kill 3. I mean, if they kill 3 on A, they're committing. If they kill 2 on B, they're committing. Nice and simple, and the results are equally just as good.
This was that kind of slight firepower advantage I was expecting from SBE, given the name power they have on this squad, the star power in some ways, like Peeping and Infinite and Consti and pretty much everyone, honestly, that you look here. MOTM even has had his time in the spotlight. So if they're all firing on all cylinders and they're simplifying their game and going for these straight takes where it comes down to aim duels, I think they could win this. It all depends on how Chicken Coop responds and adapts. Look at this push from MDS. Doesn't even get found out by MOTM. MDS getting the freebie. So a 5v4 for Chicken Coop is talking about those adaptations. Well, you're seeing one right now. Insane aggression. I mean, MDS is behind their lines. They have no idea. They're getting absolutely massacred by him. Peeping will fall. Finally, Shane says enough's enough and gets that trade. But once the dust settles, it's a 4v2 for Chicken Coop off of that push.
Great work there from Chicken Coop. They try to turn the tables, and it certainly works. Finally try to fight fire with fire. Put a little gumption behind this CT side. And Consti will look to pick up the pieces. Of course, any damage is good damage. I think it's really been settled for the defense in terms of this comeback, so limiting these rifles would be nice. And Jared has been spotted. Oh, thinking about the knife, and he absolutely will. Back turn and opportunity taken by Consti. He will go down eventually, but look at him. He's got $6.5 grand in the bank account. You know, economically, a good decision there to get the op out if he wants to.
Well, he's not going to, though. Looks like he's favoring the rifle. Anyway, we'll see the replay here. MDS, the fact of the matter is, he gets that first onto MOTM. There's the knife. But, like, you should know he's there. You should be looking everywhere for MDS at that point, and they don't have any awareness. And that's a big problem for SBE. Anyway, that was the difference maker in the round. Chicken Coop get their second. Let's see if they can keep it up. The aggression really paid off for them, but now they're going to go for that more passive standard approach here on Inferno. Shane waiting beyond the incendiary with Infinite and MOTM. They will all move up as a unit towards this A site into the apartments. Flashbang toss. Jared's got a chance for a headshot, but he's the one who gets his head taken off. Wreckmeister gets the insta trade. Chris trying to support, and he does very effectively. That is a big shot to hit, but MOTM still gets one. They smoke off Moto, and a bomb will be planted on the A site.
Well, plenty of time here for SB to get into post plants that they are looking for. Still a lot of utility that can be used to prime in MDS and drop, and here comes that flash being tossed in by Crisp, and they'll try to charge in and try to take down MOTM as quickly as possible, but MOTM is an absolute rock on this site, peeping through the smoke, and SBE just powering their way up in this series, John, and it just feels like they're getting better as time goes on.
Oh, they really are. And MOTM too, like he's been pretty solid from start to finish. And remember that he wasn't really on this squad anymore for since Dare had joined up. They needed a fifth, and he was available. So he's come in here and said, all right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And, well, doing pretty well for himself, and they're certainly happy he's here after that type of performance. And we're happy ATK Gear is here, sponsoring us here at the StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026. They're also giving away 8 gaming mice. If you want to get in on that giveaway, click the banner below the stream to enter. Drop. Tossing that smoke out. Chicken Coop hoping for recovery here. They do invest around the saved guns. And SBE will have what they brought into that previous round, and of course some investments as well. I said sometimes they actually did invest into this round, but anyway, continuing on, Infinite will get himself a 2K. Wreckmeister and drop gone. Again, we're getting a pop-off, but this time from Infinite.
And that completely changes the tides of this A defense. Chris, Jared, they've got to just come up with this crossfire, and this has to be enough to hold against these oncoming terrorists, and unfortunately, there's just not enough bodies and not enough time to pick off any of these oncoming terrorists. So now, MDS is left in a 1-on-3, and he's just going to go off and save. Just slinks away out through mid, and will hold on to this 5-7 as well.
This was a bit of a risky investment, honestly, from Chicken Coop into this round, and I don't know that MDS is going to be able to hang on to this MP9. I'm not sure if he wants to. I think he's more interested in doing damage to this SB side, which I can't blame him for because it's been so fiery and so many frags back and forth that he knows the economy's precarious. There's one against Consi. There's the footsteps everywhere. Won't get the second. Peeping puts him down, and I think both those guns should have been safe from the bomb. Either way, they have money. They'll be able to buy up. But man, SBE... this is looking mighty fine for them. 6-2 now. Look at those entries.
It kills there. In terms of the economic damage from MDS, but in the grand scheme of things, SBE still firmly in control, firmly marching forward, and you know, good time to take a timeout if ever for this defense. It does feel like they are losing their grip on the game altogether. And what a fall from grace from Chicken Coop after that dominating performance on Dust2. And even felt like they had the map in the palm of their hand as far as Nuke is concerned as well.
Yeah.
But we've not seen that team in quite some time, John.
No, really. And I mean, I was saying at the end of that first half that SBE is struggling to find that second gear, but now they found it, and they haven't rescinded on the control that they've gained off of it. Peeping will get the opener against MDS. Yeah, now it's looking like Chicken Coop are the ones that are falling flat. It couldn't have been more ideal for them either, Colin. You win your opponent's map pick, you go to yours, you know that you're strong on Nuke, you have a nice recovery on your T side, end up at a tied scoreline when it could have been worse, and then since that second half, they've been missing in action.
And now to defend against giving away 7 rounds, we've got to make these 5-7s work. 3 5-7s on this B bomb site. As the waterfall smoke comes in, nice Molotov being used, and Drop still finds a kill somehow. But Infinite is that safe pair of hands, and has been as this game has been developing. There is a TK involved, but it's all swept under the rug by motm. SBE now have everything in control right now as they inch closer and closer to advancing in this upper bracket, having a chance to play up against Voka. I mean, what an opportunity that would be for this roster that is hungry to prove themselves. I mean, chock full with veterans and known names, but yet to really make a mark in terms of results just yet. And this could be that first step towards being taken seriously within this level of the game.
I think there's, excuse me, I think there's still a lot of work left to be done, but I agree with you. It's a nice step in the right direction for them. Jared just trying to drag players back, but he's just going to fall to the bomb. They were already the heck out of there. A little too late on that maneuver to attract attention. And SBE now up 7-2. Here come the guns for Chicken Coop. It's not going to be the greatest buy, even with guns out. Crisp, can he get is he going to go for a glass cannon here? Looking at the KDR, Crisp is doing the majority of the work. Everyone else has fallen off the radar. Wreckmeister, who had a great nuke, and in fact a great series so far, only sitting at 5 frags on the board. And Crisp will in fact glass cannon.
We'll need him to activate and then some. Been a bit absent in terms of significant impact as far as Dust2 is concerned, and then onwards. Shane still going even.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter. I mean,
just
there was a
gone.
lean on this banana side, and it doesn't matter. That's round over. They're going to be smoked off, and Chicken Coop just got to back away. It's getting embarrassing at this point. It's turning from a beatdown to just a whitewash.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's wild right now. They're just walking in there and getting kills, and that's it. It's already over. Crisp will manage to get peeping, so perhaps they save their guns. But there's only 2 rounds left in this half, and SB already with 8 on their T side of Inferno is mighty fine. And you're seeing like all of the key pieces coming together here. Infinite, fragging out well, Shane as well. Peeping maybe a little bit slower this time around, but he was a monster on the previous map, so if other players are going to step up and help and constantly doing some good work, then, I mean, he's more than happy to take a back seat. Crisp will hang on to the op here, getting a couple of frags on the tail end, but that's not too meaningful, as mentioned, given the scoreline.
I mean, how do you dig yourselves out of this? It just feels like every gamble is going the other way. And for SBE, they can't really do anything wrong. 1-7 odds practically from stake. And of course, we have our code STAR35 if you want to get involved and get that weekly reload of $35. So check out the banner below if you are interested. SBE, this time again, feign banana presence and go charging up the middle of the map. Crisp just gets his head ripped clean off.
They're just doing it
and
again.
Peeping is out getting kills straight through the smoke. It leaves it all to Jared, who does so much damage, but cannot really keep this round in check. Dropping MDS. I mean, yeah, you just gotta save again. I just feel so bad for some of these players who just have to save round in and round out.
But I mean, SBE are just first 30 seconds, boom, go, hit, hard, fast. They are just destroying Chicken Coop, bullying them even. I mean, look, you get these kills on the tail end, sure, it's fine, but Chicken Coop don't seem to have the ability to rebuff them, so I doubt SBE are going to change things up very much. They've already gotten 9 rounds off this style of play. Peeping and motm need to get away from the bomb. I mean, Peeping's gone. He's towards T-spawn with 3 HP. Wants to make sure he keeps that gun up. Money is still really solid, so I'm not sure it matters that much. They could have even tried to chase MDS, but Chose not to. 9-2 with the opportunity at double digits in the first half for SBE.
Well, one last opportunity for Chicken Coop to put something to be excited about on the board. It just doesn't feel like anything. I mean, it feels unfair, really.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. I don't necessarily feel like they're playing the worst game of CS. It's just, this is CT side Inferno sometimes. It's so difficult to master. And right now, nothing is coming up for them. Another 4-on-4 that SBE love to play in.
And they've slowed down the pace a decent amount here. Oh. Info hop for MDS, gonna toss the smoke afterwards. And on the side of SBE, they've got a lot of utility. Nice boost up for Wreckmeister, and it works out. Infinite just not ready for that. Caught off balance. So a man advantage finally gained for Chicken Coop, but look where SBE are. Back to the scene of the crime, where they've been stealing round after round from Chicken Coop towards this A site. Pushing through the smoke is Shane. Crisp could get caught, and Wreckmeister supporting well, and Wreckmeister gets the headshot on Shane, traded out by motm. Crisp tries to flicker and hit a shot, but he won't. Throws the nade as a chaser, and it does connect onto motm for damage, but not a kill. And now they're going to pincer in towards the CT spawn position. Only MDS here. He does get one and the second. MDS saving things a little bit for Chicken Coop at the end of the half.
Cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face. Just to get up and finally escape. Wait. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. Hey, legends don't die anyway. I was working on a play today. Body bags covered away. I paved, zipped up like a bathing ape. How many of us then came and stayed? Not too many. I've been staying awake to get it and get right on every mistake. I give them a bite, they taking a plate. It's all been a feeling that I couldn't shake. So I just keep killing till I'm at the gates. We straight, we treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drop.
All right, we're back into it here, folks. Getting ready for the second half of play. Chicken Coop at least prevented SBE from getting to double digits, but that is still a daunting scoreline to stare down at. 9-3 for SBE as they switch over to their CT side.
Mountain to climb here for Chicken Coop, but it really comes all down to this pistol round. Do they have the wherewithal to come back in? But oh, what a shot there from Consti. Double swing there from Shane as well, and find their opening 5-on-4, but Chicken Coop want to keep pushing the issue. They'll charge into this A bomb site, into motm. Drop has found one, and Drop has found another as well. This A bomb site is now easily under threat. The bomb will go down. There is no kits involved. This is the opportunity for this T side to whir to life.
Only one pistol round won by Chicken Coop so far. This might be their second. Definitely will be. Oh my goodness. Infinite, last one available, needs to clutch a 1v4 from apartments and get the defusal as well without a kit. There's just no time to do any of that. It will be a fourth round picked up by Chicken Coop. Infinite, maybe just trying to keep them on the site. Gain some more money for his teammates. Oh, nice shot to the head of Jared. That's $100 instead of only 50, and then he eventually falls. Anyway, Chicken Coop will indeed find a pistol round and get a fourth on the board.
Certainly needed in the grand scheme of things. Consti, despite that opening, does not have enough in the tank to pull it back into play. And Chicken Coop with the opportunity to really make this one feasible. Force Spy comes out for SBE though. Close range 5.7s can always be a dangerous test. Utility primed and ready for taking this banana control. They'll encroach slowly but surely before having to pull the pins on those.
B stack for SBE, and that's where Coop are headed. Nate's gonna go out. Does a lot of damage to MDS. He's on the receiving end of it. Spam is out. Now with all that utility tossed, you might be wondering if you're Chicken Coop, like, hey, is there the stack here? Should we fade off? It's very easy for one player to make it look like it's a heavily stacked site. Oh, that's a nice nade that comes through. Does a lot more damage to drop. Now 2 players below half health. They do make the adjustment. They go back towards A. Only 1 player in the defense of this site. This is a very good call for Chicken Coop.
Yeah, it worked out. It should just be an open and shut case at this point. A smokes to help facilitate into this A bomb site. Shane is gonna literally have no idea where to look. Then you have a chance to fire off a bullet. And Chicken Coop will get themselves their 5th. And if you're SBE, just save for the next. I mean, you're not gonna have money in this following round, but you can hold on to these 5-7s. See what you can get done. Maybe just run back the same round and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I feel like Chicken Coop would understand that they stacked B and they might expect it in the next round as well. Or maybe they'll expect the opposite. Who knows? You have to sometimes give it a try and see if the back-to-back attempts will work out. They're trying to chase down these kills. It's not really necessary if you're Chicken Coop. I get it. Like, it'll make it a more difficult round for SBE should these frags come through, but you're more at risk than they are this early on in the half with the guns that you've got. And yeah, there goes MBS. Wreckmeister as well. They get nothing out of that. Just a couple of lost guns and reinvestments required. I don't know that anything was picked up off the ground there via SBE. I don't think so. But either way, they're going to be able to double down and get this force buy to be activated in back-to-back rounds. How did you get a Mac 10? That's actually super helpful. Anyway, also guys, don't forget that Lorgar is a fantastic sponsor we've got here at StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026. They are helping provide the official tournament PCs for the main event, so a huge thanks to them.
Into round number 15. That Mac 10 could be something useful. There's no armor on Wreckmeister, so that could be a problem. But let's hope the best for him. Meanwhile, these 5-7s can still wreak some significant havoc. And they will run back that same exact setup. This time with less smokes, though. They don't have the nades to soften up anybody on the other side of these smokes. So it does make things a little bit more difficult.
I feel like it's almost better that they don't, though, because now Chicken Coop might not be as aware of the fact that there's friends here. What the heck? I saw one person walking across, so now they'll know that there's something going on here. And if they just double back again, probably have the same result the previous round. If they go into it, though, they might be in trouble. And they've waited so long here, down to 30 seconds, they may not have a choice. In fact, unless they reverse course right now, this instant, B site will have to be hit, and that is a problem. An all-out brawl coming through. SBE could come out on top here if they hit their shots. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and a 4th. Only 1 remains. It's Crisp, and he falls, peeping, delivers the killing blow. They walk into the stack, and SBE doubling down on the same strat. It works out brilliantly.
That's all you're looking for if you're SBE. I mean, if it doesn't work once, try again, and SBE get exactly what they're looking for. They find double digits. They retain the advantage and our stake odds. And of course, if you want to continue the good times, of course, there's that weekly reload of $35 if you use the code STAR35, so you don't want to miss out on that action. With so much more Counter-Strike left to play. And look at that nade damage. onto these oncoming Chicken Coop members. This is all in, John. This is basically for the series.
Yes, on a flank, gets one, and Infinite finds the immediate trade. That could have been really problematic for SBE, but now they've activated in full force, and it's already over. Just like that, you snap your fingers, it's done. 3K coming through on the side of SBE as well, towards the tail end, and man, oh man, that may be it, like you said.
And now, that might just be the final nail in the coffin. Sure, there was this resurgence from Chicken Coop, but the fact of the matter is they weren't truly engaged in this game. Felt like things just unraveled following the losses on Nuke, and they just haven't been able to recover ever since. Eagles now the only saving grace for Chicken Coop in round number 17.
Recycled smoke from peeping for bottom banana. SBE players towards A this time. Keep shifting the setup, and that makes it really hard to read for Coop. And they just ate a nade, dropping MDS down to 20 and 30 HP respectively, and in fact, even more damage being dealt now by a follow-up. This is going to be really difficult for them. The bullets are likely going to chew through these injured bodies, and they absolutely do. Infinite racks up another multi-kill round. And Jared, well, he's going to dip his toes into the fire and then take a bullet right to the dome. So, as it stands, no damage taken by SBE in this round, and Chicken Coop, I don't see a path to victory for them here.
You can say that again, John. Crispin drop, looking to find something with this boost, and actually, you'd think that they'd find something there. The crossback from peeping.
There's a flank.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter at this point. Peeping's going to do it all on his own. There's the flank. Quad kill for Infinite. 7 opportunities now for SBE to shut the door on any conversation of a comeback. And boy, are they excited of this opportunity. A chance to find some stability with the 5-man unit and to potentially go deeper in this tournament and really put a stamp of authority that SportsBetExpert is here. And of course, I do also want to give a shout out to ATK Gear for their mice that they're giving away. 8 of them. If you click down in the banner below, be sure to check that out in your free time as well. All out aggression here on Banana. A boost up for peeping, and he's going to get himself involved straight away. Really had the lineup on a couple more, but he's ruthless. He wants to continue dueling. As soon as this smoke fades, he'll be right back at it. With that molly missing, there's no reason for him to back away. Head spotted. Meanwhile, in apartments, as peeping falls.
Yeah, that's a nice trade from MDS. I don't know if they're going to hang around towards Banana for very long, but it wouldn't be a bad idea for them to readjust their approach and go B, given they found Peeping, who's been a bit of a thorn in their side, and now it's only Infinite left on B, although he's been even more effective at shutting down Chicken Coop with his 18 kills on the board. They are still going to favor this B site. And unless Infinite can pop off, it's probably going to be a retake scenario for SBE. In a situation where they've got the money, they can take the risk. They can go for this, assuming Infinite falls. Will he is the question. Smoke is up. He doesn't have to take the risk. They can just play a full retake here if they want to. Spam, you'd imagine, and can't really connect on it.
Oh!
Although, yeah, no, he does. Excuse me. He did, but the bomb does get planted. That was on the second attempt at the spray. It will be a 4v3 in favor of SB, and now a 4v2. Infinite doing so much work by getting that opener, and now Shane will find all 3 to cap it off. SBE have got the 13th and the reverse sweep here in their first series of play.
And everybody goes positive. You start to see the method behind the madness of the roster construction of this team. All of a sudden, the rifle core seems way more exciting. You didn't even really have an elite game from Consti, and all of a sudden it just feels like there's life again